Hey, Richard Bryce here, Tennis Hacker. In this video, I'm going to help you to be more relaxed on your one-handed backhand so that you can more effortlessly generate power while still maintaining control over your shots. I hope you enjoy the video and find it beneficial. If you do, really appreciate it if you could give me that thumbs up. And if you find this sort of content beneficial, really appreciate it if you could subscribe to my channel as well. In a moment, we're going to break down the one-handed backhand technique and talk through things that you might potentially need to address in order to be more relaxed on your one-handed backhand. But I want to start by going straight for the jugular and explaining the number one reason that you're going to be tight on your single-hander, and that is lack of visual prediction. In order for you to be relaxed on your one-handed backhand, you need good preparation, you need good timing, you need a lot of things in place, and the thing that prevents most players from doing that is not being able to quickly and accurately read and predict where the ball is going. If you can't predict where the ball is going, it's really hard to prepare in time. If you can't predict where the ball is going, it's really hard to start your swing at the right time. But it runs a little bit deeper than that because our visual system is our dominant system. It uses a lot of different parts of the brain. So as the ball is coming towards you, there's all these different brain areas trying to figure out where the ball's going. And if these systems don't work well enough, that is stressful on your body. And when your nervous system gets stressed out, you get tense and tight. And you've probably experienced this in other parts of life as well. When you're stressed, you don't sit there nice and chilled out, relaxing, being all flowy. You become tense and tight and stiff as a protective mechanism. And it's going to be exactly the same in tennis, but magnified tenfold. And that is the main reason that most players aren't able to relax on their one-handed backhand or their forehand or pretty much any other shot, because of this kind of stress and protective response. The good news though is that we can do things to change this. We can assess and look for dysfunctions in your visual system, and we can do things to train your visual system. So I've got other resources that talk about that. I'm going to place a couple of links down in the description to YouTube videos that you might find very helpful. So now that we've covered that, I want to talk about kind of the technical side of things so you can break that down and understand what to work on there. In terms of technique, your ability to hit a relaxed single-handed backhand all comes down to timing. Timing's the piece that holds it all together. Ideally, we're using the full kinetic chain to create racket head speed and meet the ball out in front of our body. So we're loading off our outside or back leg. As we finalize the unit turn, we're then driving through that back hip to initiate the swing. As we do that, we're dropping the racket into some kind of slot position or racket drop, depending on the precise way that you hit your backhand. And then we're using hips, torso, and then the arm comes through. The racket comes through last and we meet the ball out in front. So we've used all of these big muscles and this sequence of body movements to build up racket head speed, and the kinetic energy of the racket then transfers into the ball, and we hit a nice, clean, effortless shot with a relaxed arm because we did all the work early. If we hit the ball late, so the ball is too close to us when we initiate the swing, or we can't adjust the speed of our swing, now we can't stay relaxed with our arm because we haven't built up that kinetic energy. We can't be nice and relaxed with the wrist because our brain's smart. The ball is going to take the racket out of our hand, so we have to hold the racket more tight. We have to have the arm more tight as a protective mechanism to brace against impact. So technically, it's all about getting the timing down so that you can meet the ball out in front. Now, we've already talked about the importance of the visual side of things, so I'm not going to go over that now. The visual prediction is going to be the biggest reasons that players can't have good timing. You also need sufficient coordination because you have to be able to adjust the speed of your swing and create the correct sequence using your body. So often players don't have the coordination to have good timing. I've got another video that might be beneficial on that one. It's going to show you a couple of assessments that you can do and talk about how you can start to train and improve your coordination. But what I want to do now is kind of think through the rest of it, because often the big problem in terms of timing, so we've got the vision, we've got the coordination, but often for a lot of people, part of the problem is late preparation. If you're late to prepare, it's going to be really hard to start the swing at the right time. So you might need to work on your preparation, and that's going to be a combination of visual prediction of training your footwork and kind of dealing with things that way. So I'll place a link down in the description that can help you with the preparation side of things. And then we want to think about just generally better quality footwork, using your lower body better. It's a big difference between high level players and lower level players. Higher level players, nice, wide, low, stable bases, staying on the balls of the feet nice and light so they can adapt to the ball in different positions and initiate those swings and use optimal biomechanics. So there is a very large likelihood that you need to work on your footwork, because the vast majority of players need to work on their footwork. So I've created a video that's going to be really beneficial and show you some footwork steps and flow patterns that you can work on to help with the footwork side of things. So now we've got a few different things that we can work on that could help us to stay more relaxed on the one-handed backhand. And you have to approach things like this. You have to go through things logically, step by step, and kind of work out what should be happening, because a lot of people focus on the end result rather than looking at the underlying problem. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. I wish it could be more simple than that. I wish there was one tip that I could give you which will give you Federer's backhand, but that's just not the way it works. It's all about approaching things logically, looking for the underlying problems, and often doing what you need to do to improve the function in your systems so that you have the level of skill to play tennis at the level that you want. And if that's something you're interested in learning more about, this is the main thing that I work with tennis players doing, using brain-based training to improve skill, to improve your reaction speed, your visual processing speed so that you can read where the ball's going, to improve your eye movement so that you can watch the ball through contact, to improve your coordination so you can use better technique. We can even do a lot of things to improve focus, concentration, and that type of thing. So if you really want to take your game to the next level and would like to learn more about this, I've created a free masterclass that's going to go into a lot more detail. I'll place a link up there, and I'll place a link down in the description so you can check it out. And if you do sign up for that free masterclass, towards the end of the class, it's going to tell you a little bit about my program and how I work with players and the next steps that are involved, if that's something that you are interested in pursuing. Okay, I hope you have found this video to be beneficial. If you've got any questions or comments, leave them down below, and I will catch you next time.